It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
We were blessed to have Psychic Kim on the show this morning. Had a lot of readings we were able to rifle through. Did yours make the podcast? You got to hear these coming up in a couple of seconds. So right now, we start the podcast. Let's do it.
Comedian and actor JB Smoove, very funny guy, kind of brings a moment of levity to life where he outs all men out there that you guys have the inability to change.
A man's brain doesn't have that capacity. The average man got about 38 megabytes of memory space. Just enjoy him, let him enjoy you, and gradually he will come around, you know? Yeah. Okay. But to try to actively change a man in real time is difficult.
Have you changed your man?
Well, you don't, and women know. It's like we took a course in the uterus that you don't do it all at once. You know?
You claim you've changed him?
I've changed his eating habits.
Okay.
He now eats healthier. I've changed his drinking habits. He does not drink any like Red Bull or those
the
kind of drinks.
Yeah.
He's switched to teas and waters, and it's just like when you put it into
Do you think he's sneaking Red Bulls and stuff on when you're not around?
I hope not, but I just got to trust that he isn't. But I just say, you know, we want you around. It's got to come from that angle. You know, we want you around to be with us for as long as you can. And you got to eat and live and breathe a healthier lifestyle.
At what age did you start telling him, hey, you got to stop doing this stuff or you're going to die?
Yeah, a long time ago. But then it just seems like as of recent, maybe the last couple of years, he's really taken it seriously, you know? So I don't know if something happened where he's just like, yeah, I gotta get going with this. But that I've changed his love like for sushi and really broadened his horizons so I can eat at more places than burger joints, you know? And what else?
I don't get changed.
You don't know that you've changed. I bet she changed you in so many ways that you just don't even know.
You've been here with me almost as long as she has. You could tell if I've changed.
I think you've changed.
How?
I think you used to be such a twerp and you were really mouthy, but you could tell that you are getting, dare I say it, more mature. You've gotten more mature over the years.
Don't confuse that for not caring.
No, it's true maturity and then the factor of not caring.
My wife has changed me in one significant way. And I used to be such a plan for giving stuff to my kids as far as like when you die. Like my main goal for about 15 years was to just not leave behind crap for people to deal with. Like
Right.
I want to leave behind a better life for my kids than I had. That's one way my wife has really been good about this. She's like, we can do things fun right now. We don't just have to plan
Right.
for, you know, death or
YOLO.
stuff like that. And so I'm better at that right now. I want to bring Angela on the show because when she called, she said, I've definitely changed my man. You're a man changer. Is that what the deal is here?
I really think so. I mean, my friends make fun of me, but the guy I'm with now, we just got married, and yeah, in his last two marriages, he did stray a bit, but there were reasons, you know, and he's like found Jesus now, and he's super different. I mean, he's so loyal. He's always home. He works remote, and I know in my heart I can trust him.
So you say this out loud to your friends, and they give you grief about it because they say, do you just hear what you just said?
Yeah, they think I'm a little gullible, but hey, I trust my intuition, you know. I can, and I smell him when he gets home. If he runs an errand, I smell him and make sure he doesn't smell like any other.
That's the way to catch him. Good job.
The good old sniff test. Good idea. Well, I hope for your sake that he doesn't. I hope that he did truly, in fact, find the Lord, and the Lord is leading him down a straight and narrow path of monogamy.
Either that or you got the real good stuff.
The good.
We just talked to Angela as we were talking about, did you changed your mate? Like, have you changed them for the better? And she basically had said, well, his first two marriages, he cheated on his wives.
But he would never do that to me. He's definitely changed. He's found the Lord. And we said, we hope that for you. But she said, yeah, I just make sure that he hasn't cheated or strayed. I just sniff him when he gets home.
Now, you could do that Probably pretty easy. As soon as they come in, you give them a hug and a kiss.
Yeah.
Take a big whiff.
They don't have to know that you're smelling them.
But as soon as she said that, got this text from Andrew.
Yeah, if you're smelling your significant other when they get home, you do not trust that person. And I would take that as straight up disrespect.
If you came home, you're going to go out, you're going to go to the golf course and have some wine with the ladies. Right. And when you get home, if your husband just comes, does that to you, would that be disrespectful?
That would be disrespectful.
Really?
That would just say to me,
what are you hiding?
I'm not hiding anything. That would say to me that you have been thinking about this all day, can't wait to see what I've been up to, that you don't trust me to make the right decision.
Now, in her defense, this guy's already done it twice.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean you can't trust him. It means you kind of trust him from afar or trust him with a different criteria.
Women are so colorblind to that red flag. And I'm not saying that you can't change, but what's the saying? Cheaters. What is it?
I don't know the saying.
What is the cheater saying? Oh, my God. I have been.
And you still don't know the saying.
Yeah, but I've changed. I've been with Derek 16 years, and I've never strayed.
You forgot the saying as soon as you got married.
What the hell is the deal? Oh, my God. I'm getting to that point where I walk in a room and I forget why I went there. Oh, my God. Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Oh, it took you that long to... Jesus. This was depressing when I found out how much money these guys made for being on freaking Saturday Night Live.
I would say how much they don't make. They're all talking about what they purchased with their first big check from SNL.
I think I got dinner.
We bought the most uncomfortable West Elm couch. It's like made of bricks.
I bought a pair of shoes that were out of my budget. They were $75.
I bought a cashmere sweater. It was $300.
Mattress, a nice mattress.
A couch. I never remember a designer coming over and we were going to get rid of that couch. I said, oh no, not today, Satan. The couch is staying. You're going.
I went to like a Crate and Barrel and I got like a really big couch, and then I went to a Best Buy and I got a really big TV.
Going to Saks, buying a pair of Gucci shoes.
Probably getting an apartment. I mean, that's so boring, but that's the real thing.
I mean, you don't make enough money to make big purchases, so I think New York rent was probably the biggest purchase I made after writing my first year on SNL.
How about you? Your first check that you got from a job, what'd you buy?
Too many sunglasses. I worked for my cousins because she worked for Delta and he was a cop in Anoka, and they had 3 kids. And I would go over there every single day and get them up in the morning, get them breakfast, and then we'd walk to the pool and be at the pool all day. I'd get them home, showered, into bed. So that was every day during the summer. And I remember the first check that they gave me was like $1,000.
Holy Hannah.
And I was like, oh, screw everybody. I just made $1 billion. I'm going to do what I want. And I went and bought so many sunglasses, a very expensive swimsuit for all the days that I'm going to be at the pool. Just dumb stuff.
It's not that silly. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, I always think if you spend a ton of money on food, you're a knucklehead because it's just going to turn into poops.
I know. But when Rachel Dratch had mentioned apartment, you have to pay for rent. I told you I've clicked on too many of those tours of apartments in Brooklyn and Manhattan. I'm like, I can't even believe it. A water closet. You get a water closet for about $1,200 a month. Half the size of the studio.
I would have thought these guys would have been making so much bank on Saturday Night Live. Like, oh no, I bought a Porsche.
For the amount of sponsorships they get for that show. But do they have to pay the musical guests, or is that a free gig?
I think that's a free gig. I don't think anyone gets paid to be on Saturday Night Live when you're a musical guest, because
kind of like that.
It's your self-promotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many downloads you're going to get if you perform well on Saturday Night Live. For me, I used to do just like a lot of farmhand work when I was younger. So that was just like straight cash.
Yeah.
And I think my mom and dad always made me put it in a savings account. But I remember getting my first real check from working at Hardee's. And I was a sophomore. It was the beginning of my sophomore year in high school. And I bought the top of the line football gloves.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I had kind of went from being a lineman to a linebacker. And I bought these gloves because my hands would get, I'd fracture knuckles or dislocate fingers all the time. And I bought these gloves and they were so thick and leathery that I thought it was probably going to keep, my fingers in place, and you don't want to be cold. And they looked awesome, and they had these big knobs all over them, and they had the big wrist straps and everything like that. And I remember cashing that check. It was like $350 and going, I think, to the Mall of America and going to whatever was the big store there, the big athletic store at the time, and buying these gloves, and they were like $80. And I get them home, and I lay them on the center island. And my dad takes a look at them, and he goes, "You spent $80 on a pair of gloves. You're going to wreck in a matter of weeks." And I was like, "But Dad, look at how cool they are." And he had he had a different value system as far as money went. And he looked at me like I was the biggest idiot on the planet.
Right.
So what did you spend that first check on? That's the big question. Kathy?
My first paycheck and what I spent it on was probably clothes.
Yeah, same.
What was that job? Do you remember?
Waitressing.
Okay. And where were you a waitress at?
Topper Cafe in Spooner, Wisconsin.
Oh, cute. So clothes were the only thing on your mind. You didn't have any bills or anything like that?
Nope. Just living the dream.
Those were good days. No bills, no rent, no kids. You can spend it on whatever you want. So what was your first paycheck? What'd you blow it on? Good morning, Sam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking, and thanks for holding. So let's talk about your mental health. You're kind of hoping that you'll see some better results in 2025. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, this year, it's just been pretty stressful the last year and a half or a little more, whatever. Just a lot of different issues. So I'm just wondering if my stress levels and things will even out for the next year.
Okay. Kim, what are we seeing here?
Yeah, I see you dabbling in some different types of herbs. Ashwagandha keeps popping up in my head really big. So I don't know if you've looked into some sort of natural herbs to help out with stress and adrenal support. That's pulling up. But outside of that, I get pulled to seeing things brighter. It takes me a little bit. Summertime, I see you kind of. This is a funny image. They show me taking off all my clothes, running around butt naked outside, and being like, "Hello, I'm here, I'm present." So that's a sign that you're breaking free, that you are starting to find you again, and you're not caring what other people are going to think about you. So that's a very, very good sign. But that's not going to be till midsummer that you are finally going to break free from everything around you, and you're going to start feeling really, really good again.
So get through the winter months, and things will start looking up quite a bit, huh?
Yep.
And what would you say?
JJ takes 1,000,000 milligrams a day of ashwagandha, if that's what that means.
No, I don't.
He does not care at all.
I prefer to snort it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd go that route. That might be a little rough for you, Sam. So good luck. Have a great morning.
Thank you. You too.
Take care. Hi, Natasha. How you feeling?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Great. Thanks for asking. So tell us about your current relationship, and then what's your question for Psychic Kim?
Well, I'm coming on a 7-year anniversary. Will be on the 8th of December. And my head is telling me, run. My heart is keeping me here. I feel stuck. And I love this man, but I don't feel like he loves me. And
okay. So stick it out is really kind of what you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim, what do we see here?
Things are not going to change, is how they're putting it. So they're not saying to run, they're not saying to stay, but they're saying things are not going to change. I keep feeling like you're going to stay in this rut for this. They're like, this is how you designed it. This is how it is. You can choose to stay in it, and it can be totally fine. There's nothing horrible about it, but are you truly feeling happy within? I feel like that is a personal thing that you need to look into. It's not about him. It's more about what you need.
Right. And I just said that yesterday. Nothing's going to change.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, is this a situation where you try and focus on the goods a little bit more than the bads, or is it, hey, if it's not fulfilling, then it's time for me to move on because life is short?
I just look at it. I'm 42, almost 42. I just want to be happy, and I'm not.
Oh, well, there's your answer.
Yep.
I appreciate you.
All right. Have a great morning. We got time for one more real quick. Some of these are tough answers to get. You know what I mean? I think you have to be prepared when you call to maybe not hear what you want to hear.
But there's a reason why you're calling, because you know that might be the answer.
Tammy, I think you'll be our last caller this morning. How you feeling?
feeling good. Thank you.
So tell us, you're basically hoping to find out whether or not you're going to level up financially. Is that the deal?
That's correct.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My husband just recently got hurt and then lost his job. And we've been kind of struggling a little bit, and I'm wondering if that'll level out.
All right, Kim, what are you seeing here in 25?
I hear you can maintain. This is where you're going to have to look at what are your needs versus your wants, definitely. I keep feeling I'm cutting back on a lot of my spending, and I'm staying, I hear low-key, so staying very low as to spending money. And I feel like I'm looking at all my books where my finances are going, and you don't need a lot of the things that maybe are on your list. So I see you looking at that, and then by fall, they're showing me having all of a sudden all this extra money, and you're realizing, wow, we were wasting so much more money here. But there are going to be other changes that help influence money coming in by fall, but you need to go through the situation of what is need versus what is want, and then fall will be, I see thumbs up in fall.
So just got to kind of grind a little while.
It's going to be a little, yeah.
Hey, coming up tomorrow morning on our live show, Johnny D will be here mixing up the old school. That's always fun. And we still have another pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra at the X coming up on the 21st. If you want to grab them and have some fun this holiday season on us, all you got to do is be here about 7:25 and bring the funny. Right now, let's wrap up the podcast.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo!
Bingo what bingo? Bingo! Bingo!
All right, to get on the radio with bingo. It's pretty simple. Kat and I each throw out a scenario. Basically, it's an anyone listening who segment, but only the first person that calls is going to tell their amazing story, because maybe you're somebody listening who
was a little late to the Nookie game. All right, so Harvard is celebrating something right now.
That was my virgin alarm. It's programmed to go off before you do.
Are you a virgin?
You're a virgin.
A virgin.
So the
this
highest
number is not
percent-
right. This isn't right.
A new study says 69% of Harvard's incoming students came to college as virgins.
That's a lie.
That's the highest percentage in 11 years.
It can't be right.
And I think that's phenomenal. If you want to protect yourself and your values and keep yourself at a standard, I think that's phenomenal.
I've never understood that whole. If it's because it's dialed into your religion, great, fine, do whatever you want. I don't care. But I've never understood the whole we only want to use this for creation thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else do you do in your life that feels good?
Yeah,
eat crap food, right?
Yeah.
Do you only eat crap food after you get married? Do you only eat crap food?
Some do.
I guess, but I've just so I've never understood. That's why I think this is an absolute lie. I would say this is like 10 or 12%.
Such a private thing. You know, nobody needs to know your body count. Nobody needs to know that stuff. But if this is in fact you and you were a little late to the Nookie game, I'd love to know.
Maybe you saved yourself for marriage. So if you're anyone listening who is a little bit late to that game, I'm going to look for anyone listening who has a secret family recipe, because they usually come out this time of the year where great-great-great-grandma had passed down an amazing recipe and now it's in your family, but you're not willing to share it. My wife's family is a little like this. They're very protective. I worked at a radio station once where we published a cookbook every year. Our morning show, I was doing afternoons and nights, and our morning show would put together a cookbook every year.
That's cute.
And they would get listener recipes to kick in, and then they'd publish this cookbook, and they'd hand it out all over the place. And I had gotten I'm trying to remember where I got it from. I think it was like Trisha's mom's family recipe for cheesy potatoes.
Ooh.
And I know everyone's got their own, but this is special. And she was so hesitant to give it to me because my family didn't work that way. We didn't have the recipes. My mom threw a TV dinner in the microwave or something like that. But she was, and then she found out it was getting published and she was not happy.
Oh, man.
So I'm looking for anyone listening who has a secret family recipe. You're probably going to use it this time of the year, or maybe you're somebody listening who
was a little late to the Nookie game. And that's okay. How old were you when you decided to give that something special away?
And
Maybe
this
a little
can't
bit
be
older.
right. You're telling me 7 out of 10 kids are going away to college as virgins right now? That can't be right.
Well, some people saying, look where they're going. It's not like they're going to,
SCSU?
I did not say that.
New York, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, family?
How you feeling?
Real quick, it's kind of funny.
that the percentage is 69.
Yes, we know. We said it without saying it. Thank you, though.
So that kind of,
forget about it.
There.
What are you calling for?
I'm calling about the recipe.
Please tell us about your secret family recipe.
Well, my grandmother, the one I told you was 99 when she passed, and she was 56 when she had her 9th child.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
She would make these deep dish lasagnas that were probably as heavy as her kids.
That sounds amazing.
What made it so special, though?
Over 40 pounds, you name. But the lasagna, if it's over 40 pounds, it would have a name.
Hey, what made this so special? Did it have, like, spicy sausage or something in it?
Well, see, the thing is, when she made her gravy, everything that she would fry up, any beef, pork, she would use the drippings into the sauce. So naturally, with all the spices, you would have that flavor. But the thing is the pasta had to be al dente. So she'd make her own pasta. And the funny thing is, we have to sweep the ceiling every time we go, because she would throw the pasta on the ceiling, and if it stuck, it was ready.
What happened to the cupboards? I've heard this throw a spaghetti noodle on a cupboard, and if it sticks, then it's ready, but I've never heard the ceiling thing.
No, she would throw it up on the ceiling because of gravity. If it held up, it was good to go. So we would have linguine, we'd have ravioli, we'd have...
angel hair.
Stick to the ceiling. It looked like flypaper.
I love it.
And do you still make this stuff? Like, you got Granny's recipe?
I do. I make the lasagna, and when you make it, you build it up like a brick layer. So between every layer, when you got your pasta, your gravy, your meat, your ricotta, every time you put that dry pasta layer, you press down on it. That's a little secret. You press down on it, and then you build again.
No problem.
So when it was all. And forget about it. When that thing came out the oven, it was, a fat boy's dream come true. That's what my guys used to say when JoJo the Well, I'd give him a plate. He'd be like, New York, this is a fat boy's dream come true. We look forward every year.
Oh, I love it.
Last question real quick. When Granny would make this, how many people would it feed? Legitimately, how many people could you have eat dinner out of this thing?
She can, out of that tray, 2 dozen, and that is leftovers of 2.
That's
the leftovers
wild.
were even better.
Amazing.
I love how you call the gravy. That's the red sauce, but you call it the gravy.
The reason why she called it gravy is because she says sauce is from a jar, gravy is homemade, and it has a brown tinge to it.
Oh.
And if you ever call it sauce, she was fixing to whack you.
She takes off her flip-flop, huh?
Your grandma would get violent if you used the wrong word. Like,
don't call it sauce.
Flip-flop. She would grab a wooden spoon and whack you with it.
All right. Well, sometimes your voice gives me anxiety, so we're going to let you know. But
hey, if you cook one of these up over the holidays, freeze one for us, will you?
You got it.
I'd love to cook one.
I'm definitely going to bring you guys over a tray of it.
JJ will love that.
Dude, I won't eat most listeners' food, but I would eat yours.
He has bearded dragons running all around his apartment.
He did. Why do you got to hold your hand like this when you're
Italian hand up? I'm just saying, I would not. I enjoy him. I think he adds color to our show, but I would not eat his food.
The very first time I got listener food doing radio, I got violently sick, and I promised to never eat listener food again.
We've had good listener food since then. Jose used to bring us ribs.
That was okay.
And sushi.
Yeah, and then remember a long, long time ago, Sharon brought us manicotti.
That was delicious.
Yeah, and I would eat his lasagna. You don't trust his lasagna?
No. I'll let you eat it, and then I'll give you 2 days.
I'll try it. It'll be gone in 2 days. Hey, here's a chance for you to grab some tickets for the Candy Cane and Cocoa Party. Hi, Sadie. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Who's going to be going to the Candy Cane and Cocoa Party? How many kids you got?
We've got 2.
2 kids.
Well, we'll get you all tickets. How about that? But you've got to be really, really smart. We're going to play the I'm sorry I'm late game. I don't know if you have anyone in your life that is constantly using the phrase, I'm sorry I was late, but...
While they have a huge Starbucks in their hand, which that drive-through line was backed up, so that's what their priority was.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the Christmas movie edition. Kat is going to put herself as the main character of these Christmas movies, and she's going to basically show up late. She's going to give you some dumbass excuse of why she was late, and you just got to tell us what movie this really correlates with. If you can get 2 out of 3, we'll get you and the kiddos to the Candy Cane and Cocoa Party next weekend. First one, Kat, what do you got?
All right, sorry I'm late, but Christmas is coming, and I started to panic because I had to make sure that my parents buy me a Daisy Red Ryder BB gun.
Oh, the leg lamp. Christmas story?
Yeah, nice job. All right.
Have you seen that new Wayfair commercial?
Oh, yeah, Ruffy's on it, yeah.
Yeah, Kelly Clarkson brings it to him. You got a place for this? He goes, yeah, I'll find a place for it.
All right, number 2, Sadie, you get this right. That means you and the kiddos are going to have some fun next Saturday with us at the Candy Cane and Cocoa Party.
All right. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late, but I hate Christmas, so I devised a plan to ruin it for the Who's, but in the process discovered the Christmas spirit.
The Grinch.
Yeah, Grinch.
Hey.
The Grinch.
We had one more queued up. Let's see if you can run the table. If you wouldn't have got that one right, you would have got this one.
All right. So sorry I'm late, but I was sleeping one night and I was taken on a magical train ride to the North Pole to learn the spirit of Christmas.
Oh, no. Oh, Polar Express.
Wow.
That is it. 3 for 3. Good work.
Damn, it's the last minute.
I like that game.
What are you up to right now that you're already so cerebral?
I'm actually on my way to St. Cloud. I live up by Alexandria. I have school there today.
Oh, so school. What are you going to school for?
For a paramedic.
Excellent. Cool. Well, we appreciate you putting in the time so that you can help us when I have a giant heart attack right outside the studio.
There you go. We will have your name at the door, but you and the kids and the baby daddy is going to enjoy making and taking crafts. We have coloring contests. Santa's going to be there. Christmas cookie making, face painting, and a ton more.
Why did you assume she has a baby daddy and not a husband?
I didn't want to assume, so I didn't assume.
Both.
I just said a baby daddy, so that covered both.
What if it was two? What if there were several baby daddies?
And
awkward.
You got to pick one.
This is getting weird, isn't it?
People will always say, go ahead and just tell me. You know, I'm not going to judge. Just be open and honest. I won't judge. I'm here for you. Judgment-free zone. And it's never the case. Like, we're humans. It's okay to just sit there and think something as long as you're not hurting somebody with your words. But this new challenge is taking it to a whole new level. It's called the We Listen and We Don't Judge.
We listen and we don't judge. You usually forget to take a Miralax, and so a lot of times I'll just put it in your coffee and give it to you in the morning.
But what if she doubles up? What if she remembers that day?
Well,
that's a rough day. So we listen and we don't judge. You call in right now and you say something, we won't judge.
Listen to me and don't judge me.
Okay.
But for the better part of 5 years, since I technically and normally beat you to the studio, I would come in and turn the thermostat down to about 65, knowing that you are going to crank it up or kick a block over the event and want it to be about 80 in here so that I can tolerate it.
You make time during your morning to make me uncomfortable. I come in here, it's an icebox.
I'm trying to make myself comfortable.
Maybe you should wear more sensible clothing then.
I'm
You're
wearing
inside.
a friggin' hoodie and a pair of pants. What else am I supposed to wear?
Wear a T-shirt if you get so hot.
I have a T-shirt on underneath this.
I wear a sweatshirt and bring a jacket knowing I'm going to be freezing.
And you got a blanket and everything else.
Wow.
So you were supposed to judge.
I mean, okay. Sorry. I'm horrible at this game.
We will listen and not judge. Paul, what do you got to throw at us?
Yeah, so me and my family, we've had like a long-running kind of like side-of-the-road produce store. We just have like a lot of excess kind of produce, and we like to sell it and just kind of help people out. Now, I'm going to put this as delicately as I can. We make our own produce, and that requires making our own fertilizer.
Wait, are you telling me you harvest your own poop and put it on vegetables that you sell to people on the side of the road?
Oh, my God.
Not as brutally, but yes, exactly that.
So
is there danger
So exactly
in this?
that.
Could I get sick from this?
I don't think you can. I think it's poop, right? It's same as fertilizer.
But his poop is in the potato I'm having tonight.
Not inside. I don't know if I'm mad at this or not. I feel like people that pick up potatoes at your stand.
Well, dude, so Matt Damon did it for how long on Mars, and it was fine.
Yeah, but he was the only one that ate them.
But you can get sick from eating your own poop, right?
Yeah. Have you done any research on this? Like, is this okay?
We've been doing it for years. Honestly, we've been doing it for decades. It's been in my family, and we've never had an issue. Quite the contrary. We've had people that are been repeat customers for as long as I can remember.
This is sick.